Barak Zilberberg joining us. He is running for governor in the state of Nevada, and he joins us. Barak, nice to meet you on the radio, so to speak, and welcome to the race.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Kevin. I appreciate your hospitality and you inviting me onto the show. It's an honor, and it's an honor to be in your presence. Thank you so very much.
You are quite welcome. Now, let me just ask you, because before people go, Barak who? Zilberberg is the last name, and I got to ask you the question I always ask first-time candidates: why are you running for governor? Why? There are a lot of offices out there. Why did you decide on governor?
Well, basically, I'm an entrepreneur. Not only entrepreneur, I have a very, very strong belief in real estate, and I know numbers don't lie. Accountability, management, entrepreneurship, everything needs to be run with accountability, no question. And that's why I'm running for governor, because what I'm seeing here is that people have as far as contribute their tax dollars as well as I have, and we don't know where it's allocated or where it's going to, or we don't know, if it's going in the right places. So that's why I'm so passionate, and I'm so enthusiastic in getting into governor, as being a governor of Nevada, to know all the functions and accountability as to what's going on, and be transparent with the public, with the people, for the people. I am a public servant, so I am to serve the people. The people aren't to serve me. You understand that?
I do.
I as governor, I will, as far as contribute as far as salary as a sitting governor of Nevada, to our educational system.
Ooh, I love
that.
For
our children, yes.
I love that. Before we go too far down the road, I'm dying to know, and I think a lot of us are that are listening are dying to know more about you. Where'd you grow up? What's your background? You've had a lot of success in business. What business? Yes. Let's talk a little bit about yourself for just a minute, just to give people kind of a thumbnail sketch of who you are.
Well, grassroots. My family came here. My mom is from Israel. My dad was born in Poland. They immigrated to Israel. Thereafter, he did his duties, which were mandatorily, as far as in Israel, you have to go to the army at age 18. There's no question. It's mandatory. He finished his duties, and his dream was always to come to the United States of America for the American dream. A very smart man. And he went ahead and he saved so hard to as far as come out with a plane ticket, okay, and $500 in his pocket, landed over to the United States. Mama joined him, and he was hustling all his life. He's a hard worker, and he taught me those fundamentals, and I want to carry that on, not only to my children, but I want to carry it on to I have 2 grandchildren as well, by the way. I'd like to carry that on to my fellow Nevadans, so that basically we could have those cores and principles, as I was taught, from grassroots, working, being self-sufficient. Dad, at a very young age, said, if you want something, go out and work. Be self-sufficient as a person. I understood that at a young age. And that's what strived me, and that's what's got me to this point here today.
I want to ask you about Governor Sisolak, and what is it that was the tipping point for you, where you may have said for a while, well, we've been thinking a little bit about maybe running for governor, but I don't know. Was there anything that put you over the edge that caused you to jump into this race?
Well, basically, I'm as far as a grassroots Republican, all my fundamentals are in the core of the Republican Party. Okay, given that, I've been successful with the course of the Republican Party. Now, let me explain to you about the Democrats. Democrats, they like to oppress the people so that they are, as far as reliant on the government, right? They're reliant on the government, therefore they have control over the people. Whereas the Republican Party, we say, hey, we're conservatives. We believe in as far as hard work, and achieving the things that we need to achieve self-sufficiently without the government. Now, the government, would be a guidance in many other things and articulations, but we have our constitutional rights here in the United States of America and in the state of Nevada. Therefore, we need to adhere to those constitutional rights of our freedom. In other words, we have the right of doing things and not doing things. We're not in a communist nation. Our forefathers never adhered to any principles of socialism and communism. It's out of the category whatsoever. I don't understand. So I believe Nevada is the real America, united and not divided. And the principles that we have here in Nevada are like no other in the United States. Therefore, that's the love I have for the state, and that's why I want, as far as contribute and attribute my attributions and intelligence and knowledge to my fellow Nevadans.
Again, Barack Zilberberg.
I love Nevada. It's corely in my heart and in my soul.
Barack Zilberberg running for governor on the Republican side. I know there has been a huge influx of people moving to Nevada. They obviously aren't happy with where they were living in the People's Republic of California. Why are they choosing Nevada, and why weren't they happy?
Well, basically, they were in socialist states and communistic controlling states. Okay, Nevada, we must, as far as adhere to what Nevada's principles are, never it will be taken away whatsoever. We will be the real America, and we are the real America, and that's why people come here with large influxes into our state. Okay, so I as far as admire that. I want much more as far as people coming in, and you're invited here to a tax-free state, not only a tax-free state, but to the best state in the United States of America, hands down.
No, I love that.
I love Nevada.
And can I tell you, for those of us that have had opportunities to go elsewhere, there's no place like living in Nevada. Barack Zilberberg joining us, a candidate for governor, one that you probably have not heard of, but you're going to know a lot more about him coming up in our next segment as we continue right here on AM 670 KMZQ. The name Barack Zilberberg, one you've probably not heard of before tonight, but he is running for governor of the state of Nevada. We talked about his background, why he's running for governor, and one of the problems that we have as Republicans, Barack, is that we have what I always call a kind of a unity problem in the Republican Party when we need everybody to be working in the same direction. What can you do? What can you do to help with the unity problem in the Republican Party?
Well, let me tell you what's happening. There's a lot of money infiltrated through PACs on the Democratic side, and they want to obstruct our party, our Republican Party. So, in other words, just to make things clear, there's a lot of rhinos. You know, rhinos? So we need to identify as to who are really the Republicans in the Conservative Party that I believe and I'm affiliated with, and those who are Democrats need to leave the kitchen. Okay? That's number one. Once we identify as to, we make that distinguishment, we could go ahead and unify our party and be one. You understand what I'm telling you? We gotta get the rhinos out. That's number one. And unify our party and come together and support each other as candidates. And as far as get as many Republicans in our offices as needed, not only that, we need to flip Clark County to red, and we got to flip the state as well, throughout Nevada to red. Washoe needs to be red too, okay? Because that's what the state is. Those are the principles of the state. It's not a Democratic state. This is a Republican state, okay? So we need to make it ready for anybody that is running in the presidency that he has a red or she has a red state here in Nevada. That's given. You know, Donald Trump, with 25 million, over 25 million followers, or what have you, he wasn't able to achieve that in 2 elections. And what I would like to do is achieve that so that we have it ready for Trump or whomever wants to run in the Republican race as president.
One of the issues that I think is going to be important to bringing us all together, because it's one that I think we all agree upon, and that is the education of our children.
Yes.
Is it a priority for you, and
Yes.
how do you fix an education system that's just about dead last in our country when it comes to education?
Yeah, well, we're 43rd in the nation. It's really nothing to brag about. Also, the superintendents, I've been to 2 meetings over in Clark County, and as far as all of the superintendent, Jara, and all the other 6, I believe we need to clean the whole as far as superintendents and as far as the board of directors of our educational system. It doesn't work, okay? And we have to get rid of the critical race theory. Critical race theory has to go out the window. There's no question. We cannot teach and articulate our children of racism or any kind, okay? They need to go to their educational school or functions comfortably without racial slurs or swastika signs or anything in that nature. That is uncalled for whatsoever, okay? We got to bring the stance up in our educational system as well. We need to articulate to our children at a young age accountability, money management, technology, trades of interest, all types of functions at early age so that they could grasp on some sort of subject that they're talented in. And then they could achieve that through their educational system to high school. And once they graduate, they already know what they're going to do. So they're not lost.
So are you talking about changing curriculum and reducing the scope of curriculum to more things that can actually benefit the youngster?
Well, school choice, I'd like to, as far as implement school choice, but also in school choice, because they compete, schools compete against each other. So competition is very important. So, basically they want to earn their students. And given that, even though that there is school choice, I'd like to implement those fundamentals in our schools, such as I've articulated, educate as far as the money management, accounting, besides of the mathematics and the English and what have you, but the other functions for they excelling in their life, after high school and going on to wherever they have to go and excel in the things they need to excel in life so they could be the best at what they are and what they, as far as their talents and their cores are. It's very important. So we want to bring up the stands here in Nevada. I want to be, in other words, as far as Nevada will be a self-sufficient state, okay, we'll have our own agricultural, we'll have our own pharmaceuticals, we'll have our own industries here, okay, we're not reliant on the canoes Casinos, okay, that's one part of the whole forte, but we're going to have much, much more. We won't be reliant on the casinos. We'll have industries, we'll have manufacturing, we'll have so many things here. And then I would like to go ahead and implement and widen our highways here. You know, from here over to Carson City, I've drove several times already, and there's a two-way lane. So I want to widen that highway, making it inviting, and also I'd like to bring in the Hyperloop. I'd like to, as far as bring on Elon Musk and bring on Richard Branson and say, hey, you know, what do you guys have in plan? Can we get the high-speed railing here so that we're like number one here in the United States? We're advanced from the whole nation. I want to bring the stance up here very high. You don't understand. It's like in every which way, economically and health-wise. Not only health, I believe in health, and I would like to articulate the nutritional facts and things that, you know, are as far as society must know. You know, functions. People must know more and more through education. You know, and that's what I want to do.
Barack,
that's what I want to do.
Hey, Barack, we've got about 90 seconds, and I want to give you an opportunity to tell people what it is your campaign needs. I'm not sure if you're self-funding or if you're accepting donations. What is it you need from the general public at this early juncture?
If everybody you believe, and by the way, as far as vaccination or as far as masks, that should be voluntarily, shouldn't be mandated, okay, before we go on. Now, if you agree to my stances, you agree to what I have to say, please go to www.barackzilberberg.com. That's BARAKZILBERBERGE.com, okay, and go on to the donate button. And any donations would be, you know, greatly appreciated towards my function and my movement. And I would, as far as send, even if anybody sends over $200, I'll send a cap and a T-shirt through my apparel company as gratitude.
Oh, that's awfully nice of you.
The first 100 donors that donate $200, I'll send them a cap and a T-shirt of Barack Silverberg's campaign.
I like that.
Of Barack Silverberg.
I love that. Barack, great to meet you on the radio. Always love to meet new people and new blood coming into our political system. We will have you on again, I'm sure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and hope you have a great weekend ahead, okay?
Thank you, Kevin. I thank you for your energy and your good vibes. And all of you Nevadans, I love you. Thank you.
There you go. Barack Zilberberg, running for governor, wants to unseat Steve Sisolak. Stay where you are. More to do as we continue on AM 670 KMZQ.